Hey guys, my name is Maria Park and welcome to Approach the Nerd. Now, this is not going to be a very long video, mostly because these episodes have not aired in the States yet, especially this particular one. So, everything that I'm talking about right now is essentially a spoiler, but it's such a momentous thing that I had to make a video about it, especially since I'm in the LGBT community and we're talking about an LGBT topic. So, Power Rangers Dino Fury is a very good show. I'm not a really big fan of the music, but I love the freaking morph, like supernaturally on a supernatural level. And I, for the most part, like the characters. And they recently have introduced the brother and sister duo of Javi and Izzie. Now, Izzie's character made a little bit of waves by ripping off her skirt, saying she didn't really need it. It wasn't really her during her very first morph. I didn't have a problem with it. I know why they did it, because if you watch Rural Soldier, you know that the Green Ranger traditionally was played by a guy. So, I mean, there was no Japanese, there were no basic scenes in Japan and like New Zealand where they filmed the show for Japan in the Super Sentai version of this series where they had a woman as the Green Ranger. So they had to make do and make an excuse for using and slicing in that footage and her not having a skirt by removing the skirt. But I know some people kind of took that a certain way and it caused a little bit of controversy. So I think it's very interesting that the same character that did that has now come out as LGBT. Now, I have not seen this episode. All of these episodes, they air internationally way before we get them. So we get spoilers, basically. And everything I'm about to tell you is basically a spoiler. So you have been warned. So the episode in question is episode 13. And from what I've read, it's called The Matchmaker. So basically, Javi is trying to set his sister up with one of his friends that she, quote unquote, has a crush on. And he sets her up with, to me, I'm assuming it's a male friend, and it turns out it's actually a female friend. And from the looks of this episode and the picture, this is what the girl looks like. Her name is Fern. I'm pretty sure this is the same girl that Izzie was very competitive with and actually had to end up, helping during the race because she injured herself, causing Izzie to come in last in this race. This is the same girl. Now I have to go back and watch the first part of the season to see if that is the same girl. But for me, I feel like that's the same girl. And her name is Fern. And apparently they are shown walking off hand in hand to go get dinner together. And yeah, I'm very, very happy that LGBT is now a part of the Power Ranger canon. Again, Izzie is not the first LGBT Power Ranger, because I keep seeing that everywhere. She's the first TV continuity. So think of this as a comic book. Think of it as the multiverse. The first LGBTQ character was not even in Boom Studios. It was actually in the comics. It was actually in the Power Ranger reboot movie. Trini's character came out as lesbian first. So she technically owns the title and has the honor of being the first LGBT Power Ranger. I don't want to disregard it and just discard it as trash because it did happen. But if we're going by 28 years of Power Ranger continuity, then yes, Izzie essentially is the first TV LGBT, QAI plus Ranger. So now it makes me curious for what's next. Are we going to have a transgendered? Are we going to have a non-binary? I mean, there's so many things that they can do to show more representation. So I'm very curious to see how this plays out. I'm also hoping that this couple, Izzie and Fern, do not end up like some of the other couples on the Power Ranger show where they just kind of like disappear. Like you see them and then the preference of Izzie. You see that she is an LGBT member, be it she's a lesbian, pansexual, or bisexual. You know that she, at least likes girls. And then they just make this point and then we never see Fern again. I really hope that's not what's going to happen, but I can't say that it's not because, Korosami was, I love them to death, but it was not handled the way I'm sure the creators wanted it to be. So yeah, I'm a little nervous because this is essentially a kid's show, even though a lot of adults like me watch it. And to play devil's advocate, I watch Super Sentai as well. And as somebody who's in the LGBTQ marriage, I know that my marriage even now is not going to be legal to the people of Japan. So Super Sentai and LGBTQ probably are not going to go hand in hand in Sentai anytime soon. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't know. But I am very, very happy that Power Rangers is taking this leap and we are getting our LGBT representation like we should have gotten 28 years ago. But it's just nice to know we exist in the Power Ranger universe. I want to know what you guys think, so please leave me a comment down below and let me know. And also, what kind of representation would you like to see next? I mean, representation is very important. We had TJ as the first Black Red Ranger back in Power Rangers Turbo, and then years later, we got Shelby as the first Black Pink Ranger in Dino Charge. Maybe we want to have a Power Ranger with disabilities. Maybe we want to have one who's dealing with mental illness. I mean, there's so many things that they can do, non-binary, transgendered. I mean, there's so many roads and paths that they can take. But I mean, I'm feeling very optimistic because we have LGBT now. So anything is possible. I would love to see more representation in the core team. I think that would be amazing. So I really want to know what you guys think. What would you like to see in Power Rangers? And how do you think the fans are going to react across the board to Izzie being in the LGBT community? So leave me a comment below, guys, and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for Jury Duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next in their bell, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. But hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.